In this one, Somerset fielding coach Paul Tweddle gives a masterclass on how to dive in cricket with safe technique. Let's go.
My process about coaching diving is, first of all, let's make it achievable, let's make it safe. So let's talk about start position. The fear of diving potentially comes from people when they are very high up. So they've got into a very high starting position and the ground seems a long way away. So the idea is, let's take that fear away originally. Let's make things as safe and as comfortable as we can on the floor. And let's get some basic ideas of how we use the ground and how we connect with the floor. So one of the ways we can do it is by starting in this position and getting people to learn how to take contact with the floor by rolling as a start, because it's a little bit more smoother than diving and landing and collapsing. So how I'd start is get them in a 4-point position, get them in a position where they're on all fours, and take their one side and tuck it underneath and past their left. So right hand to left knee, and then effectively just keep reaching until you get to a position where your shoulder is closest to the floor and you're going to look to roll over that shoulder. So you get into this position and you roll over. So from that angle, you're in this position, hand up, reach, push as much as you can, and then feel and roll over. Again, I'm using how I feel and roll with the ground in the simplest form with people that are just starting out, get them used to using the floor. So the next point will be raise the start position and increase the speed. Take them to all fours, off of all fours and into this position. Again, same thing, reach forward, tuck, push, and roll. Again, same thing. Be in a position, get as low to the floor as you can, hands out, reach, push, and get used to taking contact with the floor. So you can do a roll over that way. You can also do the roll sideways. So this is what I would call or term a tumble dive. So you're keeping your face and your body facing the direction of the balls coming to you, and a ball that's been hit hard, but you don't need a full length dive. You reach out, again starting in a 2-point stance, 1 foot up, 1 knee down, hand out in front, reach forward, make contact with the hands, and then roll over. Again, same thing, going the other way, hands out, reach forward, make contact, imagine I've caught this ball, and then tumble. At higher speed, you take them off of the floor, onto their feet, and in a position where, again, you're shifting your weight. Really big point with diving is that you shift your weight so that you create a position when you push that you're going to go along. People that don't dive particularly well or dive up and over, which we see a lot, is to do with potentially their inability to be able to shift and push. They'll just turn, leave their weight in the middle of their body, and they'll be in this position. So when they go to push, they just stand up. We want to be in a position where when I push, I go forwards and towards the dive. It also helps to create a knee lower to the ground, which helps everything become smoother. So with that tumble, force my weight, reach out, push over. Same thing again, here, and tumble. Next point is starting point. Try and get some long sleeves when you're diving. Helps out on mats to prevent burns. Trying to give people a positive experience of diving. So anything that's going to prevent that is a good thing. So fluffier mats, slidier mats, hands, even put socks on your hands to create gaps where there's skin on show, just to try and make sure that their experience is as positive as possible. So the next one is just your Orthodox dive along the floor on your front. So they won't probably dive used predominantly most, probably second to a tumble. So again, same point in starting. You can start them in a 3-point stance. Get them used to falling into their front. So you start in this position, up into this position, hands out in front. Get them used to landing and doing this. This is all step by step. Get them used to landing and pushing through. Again, with that, keeping this on here, my mat's not particularly slippy, but you will try and get from a fall, where I'm using that, to then tucking toes under, or maybe going to a split where I'm starting to feel some sort of push onto the front. And again, I'm trying to distribute all of the force across the whole of my body. So when I then do come to put some speed onto it, that I can land and take the hit on big body parts as opposed to elbows and knees. As soon as I lose a little bit of confidence or I come from too high, what you'll see is guys and girls will come in and potentially start to not back themselves to skid, and they'll start to go down with the knees first. You'll try and make sure that they're really confident in being able to hit on these. So again, in a stood up position, transfer that weight, shift your weight outside of your body and push into the floor. Again, without the ball is okay. I think you need to be able to feel what it's like to hit the floor and to feel okay doing that. So next dive would be, so these are when the balls are on the floor. The main objective is to stop the ball going past, hopefully clean hands it, so I've got it in my hands, or produce a stop where the ball is in and around me, both sides, tumble and also flat. Next one would be when there's a catch. So we can use a catch where we're trying to keep the ball off of the floor. So rather than stopping our momentum and hitting, we can do a catch and roll. Keepers will use this quite a lot. The best way to do it will be to, again, start in that simplified position, either on two knees or one. But the coaching point is to try and generate the ball coming in, me catching, and then instead of where we would stop the ball and hit on front, we're just trying to allow the ball to keep going past us with our hands, and that's going to turn into my roll. So again, from here, safe starting point, really low to the floor, reach out, shift my weight, and then allow the ball to go past. Standing up, again, same thing. Ball's gone past me, I'm seeing a catch. I take the catch. Again, outside of myself going this way, see the catch. I take the catch. The main thing is, I don't have to throw the ball. I've caught the ball, the wicket's done. Doesn't matter the position I end up in. I can reduce the impact on the floor by rolling. I can keep the ball like I would when I'm catching on the line and the height of the ball, and I can allow the ball to travel past me. The finishing position is not relevant. The reason why we land in these positions when we're stopping is because we need to sometimes be able to return to our feet. So we need to be able to be in a position either when we're tumbling or when we're on the front where we can get back and throw the ball. So there's a few other dives that I'd still group into diving. One being, it's an extension of what we did at the start actually. It's a ball where you're running to the boundary. There's sliding where you're going into the impact, tapping the ball back. And as the ball gets closer, let's imagine this cut in the mat is our boundary. As the ball gets closer to the mat edge or the boundary edge, I might not be able to slide and still get the ball back. I might have to tap back and then hit the floor. So that might be tapping back and landing on my front, or it might be tapping back and landing on my back or over my shoulder. Again, you can start that process on all fours, making it really safe, getting them used to tap backs, getting them used to tapping and landing on front. It's all about trying to engage with positive experiences of hitting the floor, safe experience of hitting the floor, and also understanding that the dive that I need to perform is relative to the ball and the line it's on, not the dive that I have in my head. Because some things change and I might overrun a ball. I need to be flexible and I need to have a lot of different options in my body to be able to produce a dive that's needed, while still keeping the basics and the starting point as well.